anyways, Rose family, I just feel like it's divinely up to us to create the worlds that we want to create. And we are responsible for creating the world that we want to create. And when we allow our mind to give us these limiting thoughts that we are incapable, that it can't be manifested because it's too big of a dream, I feel like that's when we limit our prosperity. That's when we limit our courage. This is when we limit our discipline, our ability to grow, our ability to expand, our ability to create empires. I believe that those who are creating empires, who are building things, building nations, doing big things in life is because they have a big spirit, number one, and they believe in the ability for them to manifest and yield big things into their reality. So this needs a type of big energy towards it in order to even think on that level and on that scale. So if you want to create something, if you want to be the most creative version of yourself, if you want to create something that's so big and profound, you're going to need that spirit that you're going to need that certain level of confidence that I can create whatever I want to create, that I can make whatever I want to make, because there is no limitations that bind me to anything that's less than what I want in reality. And sometimes I also want to talk about desire and how powerful it is just as much as it can be destructive. Okay, so desire, sometimes all a person needs is the desire to make something. So sometimes we just want to be grateful to have the desire to make things. Because sometimes people that spirit of desire, that spirit of drive, that spirit of power can be diminished by the limitations that we're consistently facing, the obstacles that we're consistently facing. So when you have the desire to create something, be grateful. When you have that spirit to create something, be grateful, because that desire, all you need is a little bit of that desire, and suddenly you start climbing your way towards success, or what you deem to be successful. All you need is that little bit of desire, and you'll create something out of nothing. You'll find yourself creating things that you never thought you could create, simply because you have the desire and will and drive and something within you to make some type of reality, whether that be a book, whether that be creating some type of empire, some type of creation. Just because you had that desire, just because you had that willpower, just because you had something within you that said you can do it, or I want to do this. And slowly but for surely, you see things unfolding. So whenever you say, I want to be the greatest, all you have to have is that desire. I want to be the greatest. And you'll see different opportunities come. You'll see different people come into your life. You'll see how things suddenly get manifested, so that way you can start walking that path to success. Even if originally you had thought in your mind, okay, I want to be successful, the next question is, I don't know how, or how can I be successful? All you have to do is have that idea, is that you want to be successful. And you'll see things unfold for you. You'll see a path be unlocked for you. You'll see different people that you never met in your life. You'll see people come towards you and say, oh, I like what you did here. Can we expand that vision? And you'll see how slowly, or maybe even in a second, things unfold for you, or a path is being unfolded for you, because you had an open mind, and because you allowed desire into your reality, or you allowed yourself to listen to your desire to want to be the greatest, to want to be the best, to want this, or to want something in your life. And you'll see how different opportunities unfold and unlock that version of yourself that can receive that. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about was being willing to sacrifice everything that's not you to become the version of you that you want to become. So a lot of times, another obstacle that we face is that we know we want to be this version of ourselves. We know we want to be the greatest. You know that you want to have the best reality. You know you want to be the best version of yourself. You know you want to overcome these different insecurities. You know you want to be greater than where you are today. Okay, but sometimes we're not willing to sacrifice those parts of ourselves that we know should be sacrificed. We know that, oh, okay, this laziness, or these parts of myself, these insecurities that I have, this is part of the sacrifice that you're gonna have to make in order to increase whatever you perceive to be value, skill, talent, idea of yourself. In order to increase that self-image, you have to sacrifice what's not for you, or what's not a part of you, what's not supposed to be in your spirit, to get to that next level, to increase your value, to increase who you are as a person. So after we've hit that topic, number 3, another thing, how to have the heart, how to have the courage to create something, to go after your dreams. So this is about heart. This, you can have all the intelligence, you can have all of the strategy, you can have all of the ideas to create something. But what a lot of people get stuck up is not having the heart to go after what they're wanting to go after. So there can be two people in life. There can be a person who's immensely thoughtful, or maybe not just thoughtful, but a person who thinks a lot about what they want to do, even dreams about what they want to do, even strategize it down to a T, but never makes the action to do so. They never take action. They think about this version of themselves that they want to be. They think about how healthy they want to be, or what would they do if they made these choices to be the healthiest version of themselves. But they never take action. They think about how they want to be the greatest version of themselves physically, but then they go eat a donut after. They think about how they want to be the greatest version of themselves when it comes to building an empire, then go to sleep after. But then there's some people who they have the thought in their mind and they say, how can I create this? How can I make this my reality? How can I stop thinking about the things that I want to do and actually make the things happen? How can I actually ground this idea into physical reality? And I'm not saying that strategy, I'm not saying that thinking about it, it's not a good way to conquest or to make things happen, but it takes a combination of action, thought, creativity, and being willing to have the courage to go after what you want to go for. So then another thing I want to talk about is the heart. Having the heart and the courage. So it's not just about action. It's not just about taking physical action. It could be about having the spirit to take the action. Because sometimes it may not even be the fact that we're lazy. Sometimes it may not be the fact that we don't want to do something. Sometimes it be the fact that we don't have the courage. We don't have the heart to do the things that we want to do. Because we think about the times we failed. We think about the times that we didn't succeed. We think about the times that, look at what they didn't succeed at doing that. What makes me think that I can succeed? What makes me the 1%? What makes me any different? We don't see ourselves. So this takes a lot of self-image. This takes a lot of self-reflection. This takes a lot of looking at our own soul to be able to not only conquer our own self-perception, our perception of self, but we have to also dominate within our perspective of self and take leadership with how we view ourselves. Because the action that you're consistently taking is always a reflection of what you think about yourself and what you feel about yourself. So if you feel I'm the most confident version of myself, or maybe I'm not excellent at this craft, but if I keep mastering it, I will become. Okay, if you keep feeling that about yourself, whenever you take action, it will be from a place of confidence. You'll be able to actually go out there and strive for whatever talent, whatever passion, whatever purpose that you have in life. But whenever you look at yourself and you don't have that level of confidence, you don't have that level of sincereness about yourself, or you feel like you have a certain level of lack or low self-esteem, it will always trickle down into you taking less actions than what you need to take to get to that place that you want to be at. So I wanted to mention this because there's a huge difference, okay, between those individuals who may not know where they're gonna go, but they do know the first steps within changing their reality or making something happen starts within themselves. And then it starts within themselves, and not just starts within themselves, but it depends on them taking some form of action. Some force of creation has to come through them. Okay? So this is very important, because in order to create something, you cannot create just from a headspace. There has to be some level of headspace, and not just headspace, but grounding it into creating it physically. Okay, so this is something I want to talk about, because a lot of my followers, they're telling me about the dreams that they have. They're telling me about how they want to do this or pursue this, and they're saying, oh, next week I'll start, or next month I'll post this, next year I'll make this happen. But think about it. It always happens the same way. The next year comes and you still have not done what you said you wanted to do. You're going to say, when next year comes, you're going to say, you know what, next year I'll do this. So it's like, sometimes we just need to experience the spirit of having an idea, Okay, and then writing it down and then making it happen. We don't need to sit there and then ponder on it and then think about it for long times and say, I'm gonna do this. This is the perfect plan. This is the perfect plan. You have the most perfect plan. And you write it down. You think about it for hours on end. But there's somebody else who's outworking you, who's outdoing you by simply taking action. They are not better than you. They are not superior to you. They simply took action on the ideas that you had in your mind. This person, they didn't sit there in long times and think about what they're going to do. They didn't think about the ideas that they had. They did it. And so I think that's very important when it comes to manifesting or creating reality. Is yes, it is mind power, but it's also bringing those ideas that you have into the physical, which is the best, because you're like, man, I just thought about that. Look at how it's right in front of me now. Man, I just created that in my mind. Now all these things are right here, right now, because I took action, because I made something happen through my spirit and through also my physical body, making things happen, taking that action. And then here's another thing. The reason why many people avoid going after something is because it takes pain. Okay, sometimes it's painful to go after what you want to go after because there's sacrifices, or there's a version of yourself that can no longer be accepted. You have to become a new version of yourself in order to succeed at this thing. If you want to become the best version of yourself when it comes to your physique, if you want to become the best version of yourself when it comes to whatever purpose you have in your life, building something, you have to release that version of yourself that let a lot of things slide. The lack of discipline that you had, or the lack of courage that you had, you have to release that. So you have to release and then accept that pain is going to be a part of the process until that becomes identified with you. Anyways, Rose family, I think that's all I needed to say. But I just want y'all to know that you're more than capable of going after those dreams that you have. And I don't necessarily want to say dreams because that can sound very whimsical or one day type stuff. That one day can be today. Okay, that one day. And when I say today, I'm not talking about the end result. I'm not talking about what you finally accomplish at the end and everybody's finally giving you the applause that you're seeking for. It can be simply taking the first steps of this journey, because it's going to be a journey, okay? It's going to be a journey. Taking the first steps and finally moving through with what you said you were going to do instead of thinking about it, okay? There's millions of people who think about what they're going to do and they never do it. But there's very few people who had a thought and created something from it. And that to be said, that is the end of this video, Rose family. If you guys, if you like this video, number one, just go to Rose Family, follow us on the Rose Family X on Instagram, and subscribe. Okay? Thank you for watching this video. Have a lovely day or night.